Good morning. This presentation reviews Laulu, Kiriakou and Otusanya's 2019 article. The article aims to explain how stigmatised organisation use mobilised accounting strategies such as CSR to restore their reputation by managing the legitimacy crisis. The study investigates the measures taken by one of Tanzania's mining companies, Acacia Mining, to control its legitimacy crisis and restore its reputation. The authors performed a qualitative case study to analyse archived data relating to Acacia's mining's legitimacy crisis. They focused on analysing the social and environmental issues that had been reported by the media or scrutinised by human rights groups over the past 15 years. The authors also examined the strategic measures taken by both Acacia Mining and Barrick Gold Corporation, its parent, to control the crisis. The information gathered was then analysed using a modified version of content analysis. The authors examined newspaper articles, letters, company reports, company websites, NGO reports and blogs. Through this approach, the authors were able to identify defensive stigma, how it was managed through strategies used by management to fight stigmatisation and restore brand image. To investigate the strengths and weaknesses of the article, Evelyn Kavanagh will be arguing for the strengths side of the article. Irfan Ahmed will be arguing for the weaknesses side of the article. Presiding over this debate is Rosie Nguyen, who will be asking the panel questions and drawing a conclusion of the article's strengths and weaknesses. Over to you, Rosie.
Thank you. I will take back over the part. So here, Evelyn, we will discuss about the strength and weakness. Hi, Evelyn. Do you mind, from the evaluation, could you point out what are the strengths?
Yeah, definitely. So thanks for having me on the show. Really appreciate it, guys. So looking at some of the strengths that we have from this article, the theories and research conducted is thoroughly convincing and exhaustive, which only adds to the validity and reliability of this article. So there are various strengths which we've identified, including how the authors have gathered information from a wide variety of sources, from long-standing theories that are well developed, such as Goffman, the presentation of self in everyday life, as well as more recent writings on the Barrick Acacia mine itself, framed within a more modern lens of corporate social responsibility. So the annual reports from Barrick Acacia, security reports and human rights releases are also heavily referenced and scrutinised to highlight the lengths that Barrick Acacia has gone to create positive presentation from its neglectful and unethical actions. So this provides excellent analysis and is consistent with the article's attempt to analyse Barrick's attempts to reduce stigma of its organisation, aligning with the intent of the article to relate to Goffman's and Benoit's writing on stigma as well, and presentation of self and image restoration theory. A couple of the other strengths that we found, the literature study and used is quite a big strength as well. The form of content analysis used by the authors had previously been applied widely in accounting literature to examine emerging narratives and discourses in the aftermath of crises. This is a respectable approach taken by the authors and good use of content analysis as well to suit their study. There are many references throughout the article explaining what method the authors use and explanations as to why they are suitable for the study. So providing these explanations makes it sort of quite clear why they made these decisions and why, again, it's beneficial for the study. The author's understanding of stigma and image restoration as well is well researched and provides the reader with a clear understanding of the reasons that Barrick Acacia has created, like how they've created the negative stigma, and the careful planning that Barrick has made to disassociate itself from the negative stigma and sort of restore its reputation as well.
So are there any more strengths, any more points, strength
Yeah.
you want to discuss?
Yeah,
cover more,
definitely.
yeah.
So the article also discusses the case in an open view concerning the relevant parties who are involved and how the case study affects them and the implications for them with relation to sort of specific individuals, local communities and NGOs who are involved. So the finding of the article, again, another major strength as it goes quite in depth presenting the case of the crisis at the North Mara site, thoroughly discusses what is going on and who is affected and why communities are being displaced. This provides a more detailed impact of the mine on the community rather than focusing solely on the environment. And this pretty much all leads to the reliability and validity of the article. So all major parts of Benoit's 1995 theories of image restoration are sort of evident here. Each of these sections has a caption of a report from Barrick relating it back to Benoit as well. There's also references to more recent articles on the topic for each of these sections, such as Hudson's work and Dever's work as well. And again, this links back to the goal of the article, meaning it is valuable and a plainly conducted piece of analysis.
Oh, thank you, Evelyn. For I think that's awesome. Like all the witness that you can cover all these articles. Thank you, Aaron, for your times here. I love you discover about the part of the witness. May I ask you, like, in the valuation, could you point out what are the witness have been discovered?
Yeah, so in this article, there are several key weaknesses found. These weaknesses limit the article from being a true learning tool as to why stigmatized industries act the way they do and use the certain accounting theories to defend their actions. The first weakness I want to discuss is the reason for looking at the conflict at the North Mara site, as it has been under the media spotlight for the previous 15 years. However, the authors only chose to focus on the years between 2006 to 2015. This is a lot less than 15 years, and therefore we are not able to cover all the events, occurrences, issues which have led to the conflict at the North Mara. Further, there were instances prior to these 15 years which have influenced situations in 2006 to 2015, which were again not addressed.
Yeah, okay. So for my understanding, like I can feel like there are only one side of the articles. Do you think like there are any other point or opinions you wanna cover more? Or?
Yeah, indeed, this article does not include enough information from the other perspective. That is, it lacks a balanced perspective, or at least its perspective is too narrowly focused on what has happened, is happening, rather than what could have happened to Barrick Acacia if it did not commence operations in the mine. It assumed that the previous operations commencing all were running smoothly. However, there were existing gold mines, albeit at a more amateurish level, that may have even less regulations regarding tailings, dams, property rights, employee rights, and other issues affecting the residents living near the site. There is also little information on the existing political or economical situation in that area of Tanzania near the Barrick Acacia mine. Further, there is little or no blame pointed at the Tanzanian government for its complacency in protesting its people, whereas a functioning government would be able to regulate organizations working within the government's jurisdiction.
Yeah. So they are all the weakness you wanna introduce, right?
One more weakness:
One more?
the only one country analyzed in one industry. In this article, they're only talking about the Barrick Acacia mine in Tanzania. There are countries surrounding Tanzania where other mining companies or even other industries in this period of time, which makes it difficult to see if the events in Tanzania are part of a worldwide trend or only occurring and affecting this country, Tanzania.
Everyone, do you mind to run several opportunities?
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Rosie. So as you said, there were just a couple opportunities that we've identified within the article. So these mainly referring to the future possibility for more research, especially into the other sort of perspective of this article, which we talked about before, just to provide a more convincing paper. The reader should sort of know all aspects of the situation. Another opportunity is to study what happened previously to link it with what was occurring in 2006 to 2015. And again, this will provide a deeper understanding for all the readers and most likely the researchers themselves. Also identifying what was happening in other countries around the world at this time and how the issues in Tanzania were or weren't affecting them is another opportunity for future research as well.
Yeah. So after Evelyn provides a very good point about strengths and weakness from the upfront, so I can come up for the conclusion the most convincing points relate to the theories used and reference to the suitable choice of the layers, and another point made regarding to the lack of the discussion.
Thanks so much today, Rosie.
Yep.
That was such a great effort. I've thoroughly enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And that's it for the Q&A with Cam and Rosie for today.
Yeah. See you everyone next week.
Bye.
Bye.